Are you so invested in being self-reliant that it blinds you to the reality that we are actually living in an interdependent world? Hi everyone, my name is Sandra Rojo and I'm a mindset strategist coach. Let me tell you about my morning. During the late night, my ex-husband called me with an emergency and needed my assistance. So I went to his place, checked on him. Suffice it to say, I went to bed about 2 a.m. Then I woke up, fed the cattle, checked again on the ex. He was doing much better. He gave me some homemade chili, which means that I didn't have to cook for myself. Then I walked back from the pastures to my home, pulled out some weeds, and thanks to the rains we've been having here in central Oklahoma, the grass has grown, and that means more food for the cattle. What does this have to do with self-reliance? Minimal, because I just depicted a situation that required interdependency. If you beat yourself up because you are working towards being so independent, stop. Learn to be self-sufficient? Yes. Learn skills of self-reliance? Absolutely. But not to the point where you're so disconnected with people. In the last several years, I've noticed our society, and when working with men and women on their worth, personal boundaries, and feelings of guilt because they're afraid to ask for help or even talk about their wants and needs. And then there's this persistent belief, the belief that they need to be absolutely independent, independent financially, independent emotionally, independent physically, but then they want healthy relationships. So today I will burst your personal development bubble. I will go against the grain today because there is something not right about this mindset. The mindset of self-reliance and independence at all cost. Well, folks, it's definitely costing you. It's costing you your well-being. It's costing you your health too, this fierce independence. It's costing you deeper connections and collaborations. And as a coach uncovering and discovering limiting patterns for my clients, I've observed that these are like pesky weeds, like the ones around my front porch, that requires consistent pulling out. These ingrained beliefs that we have, those weeds that are limiting you from experiencing the greater pastures, if you will, of relationship and interdependency. If you think by your fierce independence, you're emotionally protecting yourself from not getting hurt or being disappointed, but you actually are already hurt and disappointed anyway. Because, frankly, you're endorsing and practicing an extreme version of self-reliance. Here's the thing about that hurt too. You see, if we are to grow, evolve, and have enriching experiences, hurt and disappointment come too. But the good news about plunging yourself in those experiences and those relationships, they're designed to further help you learn to overcome conflict if you allow it. I watch too many of you working really hard at being so independent that the goal seems to achieve an almost desensitization with a piercing sliver of psychotic. That type of psychosis of, I don't need you, or I don't need to do it, or I can do it on my own, or I want to be completely independent, please help me get there. That's the unwellness, folks. So don't create a false narrative where you think that you're so independent you don't need relationships. We all need relationships, regardless of your gender. So just stop trying to be macho about it. Stop fighting against what is unnatural, because it's unintelligent. It's a lie and immature to think that you don't need others, that you don't need tenderness, and you don't need love, and you don't need touch. I have been unapologetic for needing and wanting human connection. I'm unapologetic for needing and wanting deep, enriching conversations, even to the point where I feel really moved. It can bring tears to my eyes. I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm unapologetic for liking to cook and protect those I love, to step into the nurture that I am, and for wanting to also be protected and cared for. If we're not careful, folks, somewhere down the path, we could lose our way. And when we lose our way, we will be more lost and alone inside our inner world as well as on the outside. So if you like your mindset to be challenged in healthy ways and get insightful tips, then follow me.